Hello everyone, in this video I will explain about word for unity and division in academic vocabulary. This section looks at terms used to express connected actions and the strength of those connections. It also features terms used to describe things that are being united and divided and the most effective word for showing contrast between ideas or stages. Okay, so the following are specific words when someone's belief or stance is in agreement with someone else. If people's ideas are in agreement or their stance on a particular issue matches, we can say they concur or have found commonality. They may have a personal affinity with each other or an affinity for each other's ideas. Perhaps a rapport has built up over time or an accord has formed because of their compatibility. Positions that were not similar at the start but are now finding agreement are reported as converging, aligning, or orienting. If one party was forced to change, decided to change his or her opinions, then the person is complying or becoming compliant. Sometimes one party just has back down and conform. It could be that he or she needed to coordinate ideas or operations to form a collective for mutual benefit. Concordance is sometimes necessary so things are equal, thus creating parity between those involved. The following are examples of words related to agreement with someone. Concur. James and Hu, 2008, concur and add that poor levels of literacy are associated with low income or unemployed groups. Affinity. It is clear from Table 2.4 that Group 3 has a strong affinity for rote learning. Rapport. Good rapport developed among the people involved in the workshop. Orienting. Once the communities interact, orienting the teaching towards individual identity will take place. And then next is compliant, where superiors take less or no notice and sometimes even force subordinates to be compliant. Used in figurative writing, narratives are most commonly said to intertwine. For example, because these narratives are intertwined, intertwined, it is difficult to properly assess them separately. Convergence. The adjective convergent and verb forms converge and its present participle converging are also much used in academic writing. These technologies are rapidly converging. And then complementary. Uh, when action or skills are complementary, they may actually be different. Complementary means that they enhance the qualities of the other and therefore form a good union. Connectedness. Connectedness should be used instead of connectivity. When there's merely an association or a feeling of being close to something, connectivity is usually used when The object or devices are are physically connected to each other. Next is equivalent and concomitant. The following terms are helpful for demonstrating how strong a link or connection is. Used for instances of rooted, something being closely inseparable, associated with something, synonymous, else or two things that are overlap, equivalent in meaning, associated or associative, suggestive similarity. Okay. Next, when something joins to something else, connected, right, to it together or to form a whole. Following are form and terms earlier that details agreement between parties. This conversation will focus on situations where two things combine to create one entity. This might be figuratively ideas or um, theories combining, or meant in a more literal sense. For instance, two companies merging. When ideas, features, or elements come together, they can be said to fuse or synthesize. Thinking, taking words, taking words from science to figuratively describe, describe perfect union. Synergy can synergy can then take place, meaning that the powers of the components two are greater and more effective than when they were working independently. Process often implies a more gradual process in forming the union, while a hybrid is an entity created from two distinct elements. Ideas or features can embed it or blend it in more complete forms, whereas information and physical structures tend to be applied, appended, annexed, or adjoined to something that is larger. When an entity joins together, often largely entity, it is incorporated into or assimilated. Okay, this is the word list for the situation, like synthesize. For example, the company provides customers with an experience that synthesizes the words or expressions, technology, and music. And then the next is synergy, coalition, embedded, and then what else? Adjoin, assimilate, collaborate. Okay, now when ideas or positions are opposing or in contrast with each other, sometimes ideas and viewpoints are dissimilar or disparate. They may have some differences or be clearly different. If two ideas have the same origin or characteristics but then move away from each other, they are said to be diverging. This leads to a dissociation and means they have become detached. Dichotomy may then occur, which is a division with two opposing units if they are still together but are formed or dissimilar components. They are considered heterogeneous if these similar parts are unsuitable, then incongruity. occurs. Here's an example: disparate, distinct, diverging, dichotomy, conflicting, discordant. Okay, the following words classify into when something splits from something else or is broken up into parts, like uh, disperse, diffusion, diversity, fragment, proliferate, ramify. So these can be used.